Hi, YouTube. I hope everybody's doing great. Happy New Year. I said that this morning to Doug, and I heard some kind of muffled blah, 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 or whatever. And I'm like, oh, God. It put a sick feeling in my stomach, because I always wake up like that, always. And I always get the same response. But then it was good. My youngest son, Jonathan, called and he kind of got the same response, but then ended up laughing and then when I talked to him, he's like, "Yeah, same old crabby Doug." And I said, "Yeah, it's not easy living with the Grinch." And then we started laughing about it, and it made me really realize that although I may start out my days happy, that sick feeling that I will get in my stomach from something, that's something I can't physically control. I need God to help me with that. I mean, I cannot stop my physical reaction. It's like if somebody slaps you and you cry, a tear escapes your eye. You can't stop that tear. You can't stop the sting of the slap, you know but to carry on with a happy notion after something like that happens, that's you know I mean, a person shouldn't have to live like that anyway. And then he tried to cover it up, well, like, oh, or I'm not feeling good, or and I just said, people that don't feel good can always say something nice anyway, you know but my son and I did have a really, really nice talk. He's doing well and feeling healthy, and he's working, and um, yeah, so that part of the day was pleasant. And then that outdoor kitty Nellie snuck in, and I let her stay in for a while. Just to warm up and take a nap. And I'd really like to keep her in here, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings on that. So I have to consider it, because there are all the rest of them out there too. So I don't know. But I let her in, and then ended up she was hugging me, or I was hugging her, and she kept poking her toes in me to stay, and or I mean, she'll do that anyway, even if we're outside. But and I'm allergic to cats, and I started getting kind of a reaction. I get kind of itchy in my eyes and things, and it's like, oh, I don't know. I have to really consider this. you know, it's a big step taking on an animal. So I don't know. But yeah, it is very cold out. It's tonight going to be about, with the wind chill, probably 30, 40 below. And it's just already through the day, it was about 5 below. And out in the Dakotas, not far from us, um, it was like 40 below wind chill, even this morning still. And that's coming this way. It's like, wow, that's super cold. So, yeah, I had a really nice time yesterday on Bruce Sees All. Um, he had like three live streams, or two anyway. The last one, because they cut him off or something happened, and he came back on. But it was just fun. There's a lot of really nice people over there, and some of you are here. Thank you. Hi, welcome. I'm so glad to get to know people. Some I already sort of know, and others I will get to know you. So I have a feeling if you're over on Bruce's channel, and I've seen a lot of your names for years over there, then I know you what type of spirit that you have inside yourself, because he's a nice person, and if you appreciate his work and his attitude in life, then I can probably relate to you in a lot of ways. So And I do love Bruce. He's like, what's really cool is he's was born on my birthday. So like, I don't know if he's even 50 yet, but like if I had a tiny little brother, that'd be Bruce, you know? So it's like God gave me somebody cool to watch for a birthday present or something. I don't know. Anyway, it's just pretty cool that we're born on the same day, and he's got a lot of the same type of interests in life, music and astronomy and, different things, his attitude. So, yeah, he's lovable, likable, and I'm sure if you go check out his channel, you will appreciate the film footage that he has of the moon, the sky, the sun, um, even some wildlife stuff that he did like years ago. Um, he does really great photography. So, and he's a good musician, better than good. He's very good. Plays several different instruments like I do, only I think he does them much better. So, yeah. In fact, I know with his guitar, and I play a little keyboard, but he actually plays piano. And I play harmonica, and he's got one, and something's telling me he'll blow me out of the water with that too. So, yeah, he's pretty cool. Very entertaining. Like I said, a likable person. So, um, that kind of brings to mind like some channels that may not get as many subs as they used to. It's like, what did you stop doing that you used to do that got you more views is the question, you know. For me, I know like I was getting a bunch of views one time, like, oh, years ago, and then my internet went down and I lost subs. And then that happened again a couple years ago. It's like, I just can't win. It's like I'm trying to talk to people because I know that, with a lot of different subjects that I can probably help a lot of people in different ways. And, like in abusive situations or, um, emotionally, spiritually, you know, or just being a friend, just being out here every day, somebody you can rely on, like, what's going on in my part of the world. I can tell you things I've heard or things I know or, that type of thing. And occasionally I get out there and I'll shoot images of the sky or, um, wildlife or, that type of thing too, but not much. Mostly my forte is just getting on here and talking about my day. So, but I was thinking about another channel that I watched that, he used to he started doing his channel Robin's Hood. Um, he got on there because he was sick of his sports being interrupted by Obama. And so he got on there and he started making fun of the news commentators and the people on YouTube that, he knew they were reading a script. Like they can't come on and just talk like we do. And it says in the Bible not to bring your purse or carry a script. That's what it means. Don't do it for money. And, you know, although when people have a lot of work into what they're doing and, people enjoy what they're doing, then why shouldn't you get paid for it? That's something there too. But, I don't know. It just goes back for me like, look at videos that got the most views. What were you doing when you got those views? of course, we can't always just do and say and talk about the same things all the time. But, and especially this new year, I'm getting pumped up. I'm getting fired up about this year. It's like nothing's keeping me down. Nobody's taking my happy away. And like I say, I want to find some kind of trick. Maybe God will give me some kind of insight or strength or something when I say something jovial to somebody and I get met with a brick wall. It's like, how can I overcome that horrible, gut wrenching feeling it gives me? I hate it. I really do. I've been around it all my life. It never ceases to amaze me. It's like, how can people be so miserable that they can't take 10 minutes out of a day to wish somebody a joyous new year? It's like, well, yeah, like Doug, he did write it on he's got a Facebook group called Patriots Unite. And I don't even like the term patriot. If I did, I am a member of his group, but I put more stuff like I'll put a lot of Christian stuff over there, not just political. So, and a lot of health related stuff, and jokes, and music, you know. So it isn't just about politics, you know, because to me, a patriot wouldn't matter what country you're from if you have a freedom loving heart, you know. And one of the most wonderful things happened to me today. I'll tell you about it. Some of you might have heard me mention a friend of mine that I've been worried about, Linda No. Well, that Linda isn't actually her name, but that's what she uses online. And she's been missing for a few years. And I thought at one point I might have hurt her feelings because I was doing not a skit, but kind of a visualization. I was actually talking to some men that are preachers, whether or not a woman should cover her hair in church. And, you know, uh, what Paul actually said about a woman being a teacher or a minister isn't quite how they use that, and how she's like counsel for the men and the women and the children, that type of thing. And in being that there's limited men doing the right type of leadership, sometimes women do have to step up and say, hey, you're not saying this, I'm going to say it, you know. And if they won't listen to you, if you can't pull them aside and actually talk to them like a human being, then you have to take matters into your own hands. And that's what I decided to do. So a lot of people might look at me and put me down for that, or say, well, you smoke cigarettes or swear, or you're not righteous or whatever. It's like, go stick that somewhere else. I don't really care. You know, there's people that, uh, in all reality, may never utter a swear word in their life, may never ever pick up a cigarette or even a cup of coffee, but their brains are filthy, you know. So, you know, I'm not making excuses. I have my vices, and I don't see it as sinful because I'm not encouraging anybody else to do something. You know, I'm not out here saying, oh, well, cigarettes are great for you and so is coffee, although in certain situations, both nicotine and caffeine have their places as medicines or whatever in a person's life, you know, luxuries or amenities, you know, or medicine, you know. So, But I don't know. I just found that there wasn't many people, sure, a lot of people reading the scriptures, but not many actually getting into base languages that were spoken around the Syrian Aramaic languages way back when. They go to Greek and Hebrew, they leave it there, all meanings lost, and they just carry on with their little lives and could care less about each individual word and what those words, how they connect to other words like the thesaurus and the meaning that with the codes from the Masons using the second and third definition sometimes, or with that code taking you off into another word completely changing the meaning. And that's what they've done throughout the scriptures. And yes, you can get a lot of information out of just picking up your Bible, opening it up, and reading it anywhere you grab it. That's true. But there's a whole nother story in there that people don't realize. And that's what I have studied and memorized, and I'm not picking up scriptures and spitting them out and memorizing nothing for nobody. I'm telling you, I spent decades of my life studying so I can speak as a human being to other human beings. The book's in our hearts. What I say or what somebody says, you know in your heart if that's right or wrong, you know? So, I don't know. I get a little irritated at these, especially men preachers. I mean, no offense. Oh, yeah, no, scratch that. Totally offense. I mean to offend you. Because it's ignorant, you know? So, anyway, there is a separation in the teaching of the word from the sexes, the differentiation in the sexes that shouldn't be there. Um, it's not really much we can do about it at this point. When people have their mindset that they'd rather learn from a man of the cloth, then that's their preference. And like I said, if there was somebody that I could literally look at their work and say, wow, I didn't look at it like that, or I actually learned something from you, but I have not run across that. So I believe there's maybe a couple people on this planet that might be able to tell me something I don't know. I'm not sure about it, but I'm guessing there might be a couple, you know. But I'm not being a fathead. I really, really, really studied every word in our language and other people's languages. There's a dude that reads Hebrew. I can read Hebrew. He can't speak it without the words right in front of him. Neither can I. And I can enunciate each word just as well as his Israelite self. So that's Israeli News Live. Yeah, he can't speak without that book right in front of him, and I can read it just as fluently as he can. So, yeah. Anyway, it's really easy actually, especially when you have the English translation right next to the Hebrew. Yeah, and that still isn't going to take you into the Aramaic languages and the villages that they're trying to destroy. Any um what would um remnant of the language that Christ spoke. They're trying to totally do away with that. And that's what's going on. That's one of the biggest thing that's going on over in the Middle East right now. Has been for a long time now. So I can't quote how many years for sure, But I'm thinking at least a couple decades, maybe 22 years, not sure. But they've been over there for too long. And like Afghanistan and whatever, it's just like, get out of there, leave those people alone, you know? There's no terrorists over there. The terrorists are our government, you know? It's true. If there were people of God in that government, there wouldn't be one worried soul on this planet. They would be up there like leaders should be, like everything's going to be okay. We're going to fix this. Not yelling at people, not threatening them. It'd be like, it, you can self quarantine if you know you're not feeling well. Do you need to take a test to know you don't feel good? Just stay home. That's what we used to always do, you know, if we could, you know. And when something isn't even as deadly as what was here before, and now those germs are going to take over, hey, good, that'll abolish the whole thing. Fauci said right out of his own little face that it could be entirely gone by mid January. Oh, is that right? It could be. You mean it will be? Is that what you're telling us? Flippin' little snake. So, anyway, yeah. But yeah, I really just can't. He disgusts me. Any of these medical workers that are not standing up, speaking like I am, are liars. Because I'm going to say it like I've always said it, AIDS is a virus, and it isn't catchy, and neither is this other crap. So, but anyway, not like that. It's not like, oh, I'm going to hug you and you're going to give me this. It's not like that, you know. So, um, we all know how you can get AIDS. It's a virus. That's how things are transmitted like that. So, anyway, and the normal cold and flu has always been. It's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. So just keep that in mind whenever they try and use more fear tactics and try and make you do something that you do not want to do. Keep that in mind. Stand on the word of God. God will help you. I don't know how. I don't know what circumstances we'll be going into, but I'm going in with an optimistic mind that they're going to shut this stuff off and it's going to. People don't think so. People think it's going to go on forever. Yeah, if we let them, it would. I'm not letting them. Are you? I have not put a mask on one time since this happened. I traveled halfway across the United States and back and walked in all kinds of establishments and never once wore a mask. And I was never asked to either. But then when I was going further out west and I got into the Dakotas and Montana and up in those areas, I did see people with masks on, but not as many as like around, um, like in the cities or wherever. I'm sure it's people are more fearful, I think. So, yeah. I still say you're going to catch more germs off of grabbing a doorknob somewhere because people eat food all the time and don't wash their hands. And it turns into feces. They touch something, and if that's not washed within 24 hours, well, the bacteria starts collecting right away and it starts breaking down from the air in the atmosphere and turns into fecal matter, whatever you touched, whether it's your steering wheel or um, doorknobs or your phone or whatever it is. So, yeah, even when I was out visiting my oldest son, you know, it's like and he wanted to touch something of mine. I'm like, yeah, you go wash your hands, then you can. You know, I haven't changed. I've always been like that. So I can't stand gooey fingers and gooey. Oh, it's disgusting to me. And people will be eating and talking on their phone and flipping through their computer, and I'm like, and then people are so afraid of these germs. It's like, where were you when I was freaking out? Now you're freaking out and I don't care. you know so really. And then people are still the same, or you'll see them and it drives me crazy. I know people, you've heard me say, if you've been with me a while, that they'll be reading books, and lick their thumbs and fingers, and oh. Or how about when you're at the grocery store and the cashier, and I've cashiered, but a cashier can't get the bag, mm, and then all of a sudden everything that they're touching goes into my bag, and it is so repulsive to me. It's like, if I wanted your spit on my groceries, I'd just have you lick me on my face. Here, come lick me. Yeah. Ugh, yuck. That is the grossest stuff. And now people are so worried about germs when they never had been before. How about people, you're sitting in the doctor's office, you've got like herpes or um, syphilis or gonorrhea or whatever, hep C, and you're sitting in there reading the magazine, flipping through the pages. Then mom comes in with the little kids and they pick up the same books and they're all, same thing. And the next person comes in and um, grandpa's got diabetes, but he didn't know he just got like some really bad germs, and he dies next week. Because why? Because people so afraid of germs. Yeah, right. So anyway, I wish you all a very, very happy new year. um, we're gonna make this stuff go away. We are not putting up with this crap. Maybe they want to form their own societies. I don't care. I mean, Washington, D.C. is not part of the United States of America, period. So they, as far as I'm concerned, can go away. Us adults, we can gather. Believe me, we're not going to roll over and play dead. We can gather in our communities and make things go around and literally govern ourselves. You know, there's people that do things, and we'll just keep doing the things we do, you know? So it's just things to consider. We do not need to pay these politicians our tax money for them to abuse us. And it's a really important thing for us to put our feet down now. It's our children and our grandchildren that'll be suffering worse in the future if we don't get a rein on these beasts and put them in the cages they belong, because they are treasonous. Yeah, they are. There is nothing worthy of leadership towards the people that these animals are doing and portraying, and they're sick. So yeah, um, if you really don't believe me, study a little more about microbiology, and then just some of the contradictory things that they say and do is totally mind blowing. It's like, how can you just out and out lie to the human race? And it doesn't matter if everybody's not that stupid, because they're going along with it out of trust or fear, or I'm not sure. Maybe several different reasons. Bribery, blackmail, who knows? God knows. Well, thank you for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow. Let's go into this new year all fired up. Let's let these rancid, insipid creatures, I could probably come up with a bunch more words, but I might get out of control then. So we'll just leave it there. Let's let them know they're not having our children, and it's not going to happen. No, not. So help me spread the words. We're not backing down. We don't believe in your bullshit. We have our own doctors and scientists we trust, ones with God in their heart that are speaking up for the people, and those are the ones we'll be getting care from. So, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Thank you for joining me, and let's just make this the best year ever because victory's gonna be ours. With God, we win. So, let's do this. Talk to you soon.